Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, Olivia, and Mike. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on the Spreely.tv network and all major social media channels at The DUM Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.
So that's what happens when let's see. What were we doing just a few minutes ago, Liv? Where before we got on with everybody, we were doing something. Come on.
Oh, we were mailing stuff out.
Yeah,
right?
we were mailing stuff out and getting everybody's Christmas goodies all set up. And boy, was it a good time. So here's a photo. So if you have not had a chance.
Oh, my God. What the heck's going on?
I don't know. My picture's taking forever to load. There it is. So we were all boxing stuff up. Oh, we forgot one thing. Can you call E?
You call E. Just
All right.
turn off the mic.
All
Turn off the
right.
mic.
Okay. So you're right. Thanks. I forgot about whistling. So we got everybody a little something who ordered. Can you grab that little box of pens, the Don't Unfriend Me pens in the little, hey, remember those buttons? They're inside the closet. The box of buttons. Hey, Hayden, box of buttons in the closet. Go. Thanks. Okay. So everyone, we were boxing up all the documents of freedom. We got them all done today. Thank you, Ethan, my dog, my brother man. Thank you, Hayden, for staring and looking at me. Goodbye. Nope, we don't have time. Love you. Bye. See you. We love you guys. We're late. So we got all of those things done. And Amy, I got some exciting things for you. Your lighting looks fantastic, by the way.
Oh, good. I did it myself today, so thank you.
It looks that you got your little front light going on. Everybody's looking great. Livia looks just delicious. Everybody's happy. I don't know. What are you zoned in, honey? Are you busy or something over there?
My open windows. The intro was too quick. I couldn't get all my windows open.
Yeah, I apologize, but I felt that people wanted us just to get to it. So our good friends over at Fast Straps. Now, if you haven't been over to Fast Straps, this is Steve. Steve is awesome. He's been with us for 3 years. He's watched us, and he is just the coolest dude. He's made my Don't Unfriend Me sign. He's just done a crap ton for me. He made our first backlit Don't Unfriend Me sign. He made the wooden laser engraved sign. He just makes stuff for us, and he's amazing. Yeah. So if you don't know, you can go over to Fast Straps, and he uses them for like airsoft. He uses them for controlling drones, because you have that remote, but your neck is down, so it cranks your neck. So he puts this strap on that holds it in place on your neck. It looks just like this, and it rings on the remote control and makes it easier. But he's got straps for everything, and he prints great stuff on them. He's amazing. So why am I'm not getting paid for this, but he sends stickers and stuff. But this is what he did for us. Everyone who ordered Documents of Freedom or anything that we get here, like hats or Documents of Freedom, he made still point buttons. He
put our faces on
all
buttons.
of our picture. All of the hosts. He's got Colorado Avalanche foot.
I can't see those at all, but that's exciting.
Yeah, I know. Well, the Don't Unfriend Me show.
I love it.
He's got a Don't Unfriend Me show buttons, and we're talking a bunch of buttons, and I already gave away a ton, and they're all sorts of random. There's ones of Amy, there's ones of Leroy, and so everyone got a button. So if you have not been to his site, and I've been 100 times, and I can't. It's fat. It's not Fast Straps. I'm sorry. It's Fat Strap. I can't see crap. I'm getting old. FatStrapFPV.com. So look, we're just going to go to it because this is important. Fat Strap FPV. I think it would be firstpersonview.com. Yeah. Let's take a look.
Sure.
That's it. That is it. Let's look. Here it is. Bam. So this is it. The Jeff Hardy nipple pack.
Nipples?
Yeah. This guy's got everything. This is great. So he's doing buttons now. And he does custom requests. So like if you go to Fat Straps, hopefully there's nipples. Let's hope there's nothing else. You can see he does he does keychain straps, all this other stuff. And he can print anything you want. There's like a Second Amendment. And then he makes straps for the goggles for drone flying and stuff. This is what he does. All sorts of stuff. And now he's getting the lanyards and keychains.
Yeah, I need one for my phone because I always have a strap on my phone.
Yeah. Well,
You can see my little lanyard thing. I don't have it on right now, but I do have one because I always drop my phone. So I need a dummy one.
You need T-shirts, and then he's a Buffalo Sabres fan, which we're not going to hold that against him. But cool stuff. Anyway, so if you fatstrapfpv.com, he's been a show fan for a long time. Go say hello and take a look at what he's got. It's good stuff. So anyway, he sent us a bunch of buttons. So anybody who ordered the Documents of Freedom book set, we shipped most of them out today. We're waiting on one other customer who ordered just the books. We had to do a resupply because we ran out. Those have all shipped out. Once again, there's $100 insurance on those. It is wood. Things happen. If it comes damaged, just let us know. We'll take care of you. We'll figure it out. I can't imagine it would be, but this is our first run of shipping, so we don't know what it's going to look like. And what I do know from shipping wooden flags for a pretty long time in my career, you don't know what you don't know. So we went with a pretty standard box, and we didn't do a lot of bubble wrap because it's wood, and we got faith. We're going to find out. So let's see what happens. Anyway, welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me show. Sorry we're so late. What happened was in the middle of this whole thing where we were doing okay on time, I got the only type of Trojan horse you can get on a Mac, which is notification settings. And what happens is you get hijacked by a bot, which you accidentally hit because they spam you and you're trying to shut down all those windows on your phone and you hit OK. Well, if you share your phone with your iPad and your iPad with your Mac computer, because they're all synonymous, you'll get spammed. And I had 11,000 different notifications. Luckily, my computer is extremely high quality and it didn't harm it at all because it's wicked fast. But I had to go through and find it. We found it. Everything's fine now. And welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me show. So it took a little bit of time. Let's get into it. Ladies, how's everybody doing? What are we talking about tonight? Amy, you're bringing something. What is it?
I was going to talk about Lakewood and the shooting that happened at Joel Osteen's church and what we know so far, which is not a ton.
He's in Lakewood?
Isn't it Lakewood?
Houston. It's Lakewood, Houston.
He's Houston.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
it's the Lakewood church, right? Am I totally wrong?
I think Lakewood something. I just don't know if it's
I thought he was
in.
I thought he was in the Woodlands.
Well, he's all over. He's all over, but it's. Let me
was
look.
it Lakewood, Colorado?
No, this was in Houston.
No, Lakewood. It's Texas Lakewood Church.
Okay, Lakewood Church, but I don't think there's a Lakewood, Houston.
I don't know.
Find out where it's at. Find out where it's at. Let's find out because we
Google where the address is.
Yeah, let's see what we can find out because we're pretty we're familiar with Joel Osteen. I'm not a big fan, so I certainly don't want to shoot. I don't want a shooting to happen where he's at, but we're not big fans. What is it? You ladies are looking. Okay,
it's in Houston.
It's in Houston. I know, but where in Houston?
It's Houston, Texas.
3700
address.
Southwest Ferry Road.
Freeway.
It's near Route 610 and Route 69.
Okay. So fair enough. So that's one of his big churches. We get a picture.
16,000 people can fit in that church.
Mm-hmm.
Osteen Church. Let's see if we got some pictures for it.
I would not want to be in a church that big.
This is ridiculous. See, this isn't about God. This is about the almighty dollar. I'm just,
yes, it is.
Come on, dude. Look at this stuff. Look at this. Give me a break, dude.
What? That's like a concert.
Give me a break. Is Metallica performing or something? It looks like a Taylor Swift. Hey, there's Travis Kelce. Okay,
I might stream one of his church services just to hear him speak because I mean, I'm Catholic, but I have been to other denomination churches And I've been to a church not quite that big, but I've been to a couple, one pretty local that's very popular, which I'm also not a huge fan of. Personally, it's not for me, but I've been to another one, and I don't know, both of the places that were bigger churches like that, they did not. I felt that the pastors at those churches were talking more about themselves than the word of God. And I know I'm a Catholic, so like that's just a difference in what I like for my faith formation personally. I mean, to each their own, but I don't know. We stick by the Bible for the most part. We're Catholic.
Well,
We can change the rules as
I
we do.
just, the way I look at it is mega churches are, in my opinion, antithetical. But we'll talk about this. We'll talk about these things.
Yeah.
So we've got that. What else are we talking? We're talking about the moon landing.
Ooh.
Because I am so tired of this drama about the moon landing being fake. So we're going to get it out there. And if you want to call in on the show, you most certainly can. I'm sure we have the number around here. Who's got the number? Somebody?
That would be you.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the number.
1-800.
1-800 get babe. Where did I put it? I can't find it. Somebody's got it. Whoever, listen, one of our dummies has it out there. Somebody find the damn phone number, because I took off the graphic and I never made a new one, and I should. I can. So hold on. As soon as we can, somebody give me the darn number. Here. Come on. Let's see. I've got Skype. Let me see if I can find it here. Oh, we're so prepared tonight. This is such an efficient show. For all those advertisers that are looking to advertise with AdRev and Spreely Media, we're your show. Nobody advertises like we do, because we can hardly get the show going. So imagine how good we are at running ads.
I think people can relate to us as actual human beings, though, because we are not perfect, and we do have our little quirks and kinks to work out and whatnot.
I like that.
So
I like that.
yeah.
We're
relatable.
That's completely a lie, but we're going to go ahead and take it.
We
I
are
find it
relatable.
Well, we are relatable completely as
there it is.
complete and utter failure. Somebody find it?
Yes, Amy Elizabeth said it's 1-804
Yep.
212
Yep.
2208.
Yeah, I found it too, but I was just going to let her live in her glory and not say anything. This will just take a second to make sure we. What type of font do we want? Let's see. He's got a pretty color. Let's. How about a gradient pattern? I know. I'm trying. Oh, there's a good font. Okay. 804-212. Well, I got to put the little dots in here because that gets confusing. People are going to be like, I don't know what to do. Bless you, sweetie.
Thank you. Cheers.
Okay, there we go. Let's go ahead and
you.
make that a little bigger. Let's go ahead and let's go ahead and add a little background to a gradient. You go ahead and talk while I do this, because this is just fun.
Well, I was going to ask, is this because of the interview that they've been showing with, is it Buzz Aldrin? Is that who it was? And the little girl where he's doing the book reading or whatever. And she's like,
you're
why haven't we been back?
Oh, when was this?
That was, I don't know. I don't know. Time for me goes by so fast. I want to say 2 or 3 weeks ago. I remember that was like a trending thing back then. It was not that long ago, maybe a week ago, 2 weeks ago.
You're throwing me off because I haven't seen any of that.
I haven't.
Oh, well, let me find it really quick because I think it was.
Well, find it on Twitter.
Okay.
This is not going well. So, hold on a second. This is not okay. And that's the border. Edit background. Border width. And then text margin. Holy Lord, this is not going well. All right. I think I got it. Okay. This is horrible. Okay. We're just going to do this. Let's see. Oh, yeah, that looks.
I think it's only on YouTube because everything on Twitter is links to a YouTube video.
I don't understand.
But I don't know how to work Twitter. So everything on Twitter has like a link for a YouTube video. So it takes
Listen, we can't suck this bad. We have got to figure this out. We have got to get better. I can't even find this font. Like the whole thing's melting down. And I feel I feel pretty good about it. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, here we go. Here, hit save.
Okay, I just sent it to you.
Dude, why can't I see this? Here we go. Oh yeah, that's okay. Okay. Oh, hello. Let's get you right in that. There we go. All right. Stay. Don't shrink. Stop.
It's always the worst when it shrinks.
Why is it always? Why did you? This damn shrinkage. It's just ever since I've been.
It is cold outside.
Shrinkage.
This damn
45
shrinkage
degrees to be exact.
It's just here. Let's put that in the middle, and we'll call it good, and hit save. And then we're going to just go ahead and not be obsessive compulsive, Matthew Spear. There's the phone number. Call us, 804-212-2208 if you want to talk. All right, so Moonland, did you find it?
I sent you the interview, and this says it was 8 years ago, but I saw it trending recently. So
yeah, and that's what's going on. Let's just get to the Moonland. And we're talking about one other thing.
I sent it to you guys, FYI.
Okay, but besides that, we're talking about, we're going to put these in all scenes. Here we go. Whoops. And turn that on. I don't know what to do today. Here. Oh, there we go. Okay. 804-212-2208. All right, let's get to this. Let's watch this first video. And then we'll go ahead and watch some other videos and decide. We'll solve this tonight. I want anyone who thinks that the moon landing's fake to let me know why. Here's the first video, and yes, I got to change the audio over, and we're not ready tonight, and that's okay because that makes us relatable. All right, here it is. Here's the video.
Stage push. Engine arm is descent. Okay, I'm going to get the pro. 99 proceeded. 3, 2, 1. Ignition. Right away, Houston. Vector grid. Exot.
That looks so fake. It looks so fake. Mm-hmm. But let's go ahead. Who's filming?
The astronauts.
That's the lunar module.
That was supposed to be leaving.
That's leaving the moon. Yeah. Who's filming?
Good point.
The astronauts. They had cameras. Have you seen their new?
You're not listening.
No.
Let me try this again.
All the astronauts were in the
left the moon in the lunar module. That is a one shot to reach the LEM and everything else. Who's filming?
Oh, they have cameras that they leave all the time.
They have robotic cameras that have motion tracking in 1960 what?
Sure. It's NASA.
Okay, no, they
I'm
didn't.
Very easily persuaded
no,
here.
No, they didn't, Amy. Let's watch this again, okay? Let's watch this again.
Stage push. Engine arm is descent. Okay, I'm going to get the pro. 99 proceeded. 3, 2, 1. Ignition. Right away, Houston. Vector grid. Exot.
So you might be saying, wait a second, where do they get motion tracking? Well, because, folks, it's a remote-controlled camera. It's not moving up. It's zooming back. It's a telephoto lens, and it was put far enough away, so it was zoomed in. And back then, they did have motorized remote control, like RC cars and RC planes. My dad flew them during that time. So to say that they didn't have remote control, they do. So now we know that. The question is it fake? Is it real? So the number one thing you hear right now is, where are the stars? Where are the stars? How come there's no stars there? Does anyone want to answer that question besides me?
Well, because of where they are on the moon and where the sun is in relation to the Earth, and you can't see the stars all the time when you're there. It's just like being on Earth. You don't see stars in the daytime here.
Go walk onto a tennis court.
Yeah.
That's being illuminated by an elevated light source, and then look up. You're not going to see any sun. You're not going to see any light. You're not going to see any stars. And it's called light pollution. And you have refraction happening from this silica type material that's here is reflective like a fiberglass. And it's extremely reflective. I don't know the name of what they call the moon dust. It's not silica, but it's some sort of sediment. Liv, do you want to Google this for us? And just go. You've seen the Mythbusters too.
Yep.
So it's extremely bright. We know this. People are saying, well, what about wires? Okay, well, you'd see the wires. And they didn't have computers to go ahead and do green screen. So if you're the person that thinks, well, they don't have a camera that can go ahead and go up and down. Well, that's not true. But they certainly didn't have computers that could do green screen technology. Folks, we went to the moon. We can have this conversation. People are like, why didn't they go back? They did. They did like 16 freaking times. It was less than that. It was like 8 or 9 times they went.
It's called lunar regolith.
Regolith, that's correct. So they went back several times on the moon. I don't know why people pretend that it only happened one time. It didn't only happen one time. So they made several orbital approaches around the moon. I believe there was other landings on the moon. It's just nobody cared. And when Apollo 13 happened, people were just like, ooh, I care again because people are going to die in a box. You went to the moon. Why haven't we gone again? Why should we?
Right.
Is there anything to learn from it?
They are doing other things that are like so much bigger. Have you guys been to the Udvar Hazy Museum that's here local?
I have no idea what you said, but Gesundheit.
Thank you. It's part of the National Air and Space Museum. It's a bit smaller than the one in DC, and it's right by Dulles Airport, so it's really close
I've
for
tried
us.
to get the kids to go several times, and each time they tell me no. So no, we haven't been yet.
Oh my gosh!
Okay,
I find it
30
to
seconds.
be
308
1,000
your
times
number.
better than the
Okay,
DC
coming through
Museum.
50.
Say
So
it
much
again, I'm
better.
sorry.
The Udvar Hazy Museum here in Virginia is so much better than the DC Museum. We went, was it last weekend or I don't even know what week? We went a few weekends ago, and we had never been. We've been to the DC one, and we love that one, but this one was just so much better because you could get closer to things. One, they have so many different aircrafts and different space articles and things like that you don't have in DC. It was just a really cool experience. I thought it was 1,000 times better than the DC Museum, and that we learned all about the new, is it a telescope? I might be wrong or something. They have the new telescope that was launched, I guess, 2 years ago, maybe or 3 years ago into space that can like go so far out.
They're always doing something like that, like
So
the Hubble,
cool.
which basically was there's plenty of them that just were absolute failures, but some of them have worked. But
this one's better than the Hubble. Like this one, I don't know what
Right.
it's called. It's amazing, the pictures that they have. I mean, absolutely stunningly beautiful stuff of like looking at stars. And, I was like I'm there thinking like, how do they know this though? Like I know they're smarter than me, but like I want the proof of how they know what I'm looking at. They're telling me, but like, why should I believe it? So I get it. I get the conspiracies in a way, but I don't know. Why would they make it up?
So going back into the conspiracy, because that's what we're trying to talk about here. Yeah. We're trying to solve this whole thing. People are like, I just answered that. They're like, hey, what about why is who is filming? We've already established that.
12 people have walked on the moon.
Thank you. Yeah. I told you, remote control was around during this time, folks. You understand that, right? RC cars, RC planes. This is not unheard of. My transmitters, although expensive, flying RCs was almost as expensive as flying real planes. My father did it, and he sold them. He made them out of balsa wood. Then he would go ahead and put, a fiberglass wrap around them, and then put vinyl, and then they would go out and fly these damn things. And he would make gliders, and they were incredible. And he had what looked to be like a Back to the Future style RC radio transmitter, and he could do amazing things with it. They also had gimbals and things like that, and mechanized parts and elbows. And so to see that a camera can't pivot on a gimbal with remote control, of course it can. Now, geosynchronous tracking and laser tracking are completely different. But see, what people are doing is they're saying, oh, well, all of a sudden, this technology came around today, but it wasn't there back then, because they go, well, a Texas Instrument calculator is more advanced than the Apollo 13. And no, it's not, because you could throw that Texas Instrument calculator all day long, and it ain't going to fly. And you're not going to be able to put people on it. And it's not going to be able to re-enter the orbit. So yes, maybe the chips inside of it, the memory inside. Okay, fine, that's fine. But to say that NASA wasn't technologically advanced during its time, it's kind of crazy and stupid. I don't know what else to tell you. This is the same time frame around when the X-1 Bell was around. We broke the sound barrier around that time. The SR-71 plans were laid. The U-2 spy plane was laid. These type of things were cutting edge of our technology. And now, if you want to go ahead and say it's aliens or something, that's a whole nother conversation. But do I believe we made it to the moon? Yes, because I've been to the Griffith Observatory, and I can shine a laser on the moon and see that data come back to me. And I've done it. It's not me personally. Scientists demonstrated it for the Griffith Observatory in Los Angeles when we went to Pink Floyd The Wall Laser Light Show. And they also showed us how they can refract light from lasers and get mapping and other things, some really cool data. And you can see it come back in a matter of nanoseconds based upon that it's moving at the speed of light in a laser. There's just certain things. There's frequencies being broadcast from the moon that you can tap into. It's just, if you actually just get involved, these are the same people who are the flat earthers. Okay. So Liv, what are your thoughts? You've seen the Mythbusters. You've explored some of this. What are your thoughts? You think it's real? Think it's fake? What?
I absolutely think it's real. I've never doubted it.
That's it?
Yep. Not once. Never doubted that it was fake, ever.
Okay. Amy, did you send it to us?
Yeah,
I
she
sent
texted
you. Yeah, I sent
saw
you that.
this. Is this where Buzz Aldrin just decked that guy?
Okay.
No, I don't think so.
Favorite.
Talking to a little girl.
Oh, well, he didn't deck the little girl, I'll tell you that much. But he did deck somebody out in front of a hotel. Is Buzz still alive? Because I don't think Buzz is still alive.
He was 8 years ago.
Well, that's a lot has happened since then. I mean, let's find out if Buzz is still alive. So let's go ahead and watch this video of this little girl. And who does she look like, Liv? She looks like somebody we know. I don't know. She just looks like a familiar face.
She does.
She looks maybe Kristen from Ultimate Electronics, Hawaiian Japanese girl.
She looks like an actress.
Yeah, she does. She has that look. Oh, Summer Glau, maybe?
I don't know.
All right. Well, either way,
I'd have to
we're just going to call her River. Here it is.
What is your favorite thing about space?
Going there. Because not many people have been there. It's nice to do something that other people haven't done. But you don't want to do dangerous things.
You know who he looks like? Who's the guy from? Who's the guy
drunk
from?
uncle.
No.
Drunk
Who's the
uncle.
guy? Who's the guy? Rob Reiner. No, not Rob Reiner. He's the guy from Saturday Night Live, who did not Corky Morano. The other guy who you can do it. You can do it all night long.
Rob Schneider.
He looks like an old Rob Schneider, man. He looks like an 85-year-old. Is he still alive? Buzz Aldrin?
Let me look.
Well, he must have gotten that alien technology to keep him alive. Come on.
Let me see. God bless it.
All right, you find out. Let me know.
Amy said George Carlin. Looks a little like George Carlin.
He doesn't look like George Carlin. He looks, I'm telling you, it looks like, what's his name? Rob what?
Rob Schneider.
Schneider. That's right. Not Reiner. Reiner's fat and bald and he's a liberal.
He's
Schneider's
94 years old. He's still alive.
God, it's that alien technology. He
Just turned
abducted
94.
Yeah, he's going to live to like 146.
Successful
I'll send you one.
things. And if it's new and different, there may be some things where something could go wrong. So you want to
This is a 20-minute video. Where in
Yeah,
this
I
does she
just realized
burn him?
that. I don't know. Let me look.
be
Because nobody had been there.
Because nobody has been there before.
Oh, wait, here we go.
Scared.
Were you a little scared about
to
Oh, come on. All right, let's just assume he hits her. So, Buzz
money.
Aldrin hits
It's a
Okay.
good thing.
guy. this is the staple. Where is it at? They may have taken it off the internet.
Oh, here. I got a better video. I'm sorry. This one's only a minute long, and this has the exact.
Was
Sending
it?
to you.
Hey, was it Buzz Aldrin or was it Neil Armstrong who hit? I think it was Neil Armstrong who hit the guy. I don't think Buzz did it. Neil Armstrong hits guy. Come on, where's it at?
I don't know.
Yeah, here it is.
Hi, I'm Zoe Gong. As a
Oh,
traditional
blah, blah,
Chinese
blah,
medicine
blah,
chef
blah,
and food
blah.
therapist,
We're not going to
I
play your
love
commercial.
hibiscus
You better pay me
based
money,
dish-
YouTube. Seriously? All right, here we go. Let's watch this one and then we'll watch the other one.
Go to the moon. It's a fact. and put a classified.
I love that. He doesn't go. No, they didn't go to the moon. It's a fact.
Yeah, it actually caused.
There it is.
Seen for a long time, and he gives
There he
you
is, right
that
there.
little-
Just boom,
that
he
little
sucker
right-
punched him right in the face.
So, and this is Buzz. Buzz is what, like almost like 90 now? How old is Buzz now?
I think he was in his 70s back then. That was like from.
Oh, dude, he connected too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Does it say why he hit him?
Really been in this
Yeah, because he
for a
denied
long
it.
time, and
He started denying the moon landing, and he called him a liar and started insulting him. And Buzz just cold cocked him. Just absolutely cold cocked him. Did you send it by email or text?
Text. I'm having like internet
You're
problems
doing
today
fine.
though.
You're doing fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
It's
That's
the second
porn.
video I sent you.
That's porn. We can't play this. Oh my lord.
That's not.
He's gonna hit her. He's gonna hit her. Watch this.
Why has nobody been to the moon in such a long time?
That's not an 8-year-old's question. That's my question. I want to know, but I think I know. Because we didn't go there, and that's the way it happened. And if it didn't happen, it's nice to know why it didn't happen. So in the future, if we want to keep doing something, we need to know why.
Dude, did he have sex with Joe Biden the night
I
before or
was
something?
he's reading the teleprompter they use for Joe Biden. That's
I mean, did he drink the cocktail that Joe Biden's been drinking the last 4 years? What in the name of Lord?
Past that we wanted to keep it going, but I think I know. Because we didn't.
Listen, this is just an old guy. Come on. Give him a I mean, seriously, when you're 114 years old, I want to see you connect the dots. He's still he's a lot more spry than Biden, for sure.
Agreed.
Dude, here's the thing. Did we go to the moon? This is just the truth. Who cares? If we didn't, it's something we needed. We got the Russians to literally bankrupt themselves on two things, the Cold War and the space race. So guess what?
Yep.
It served its purpose. I can only take it based upon the things that I've seen. I've seen moon rocks. I've had pieces of the space shuttle. My dad got them from Lancaster, California. He had a lot of connections with Lockheed Martin and Skunk Works because my grandfather helped design the SR-71, the B-52 Stratofortress, the U-2 Lockheed. This man did a lot. And he knew all those guys. And he would tell stories of what happened and how it happened. And if it's not true, you have to ask yourself the question, then why are we able to see evidence with the telescopes of today, to see the tracks, to see the flag, to see where the landing was? People talk about the flag in a vacuum. Well, Mythbusters destroyed that. Mythbusters, the different ratio of light refraction and the shadows, they explain that too, depending upon the light source and where it's coming from. All of these things were addressed. The footprints. Why are the footprints exactly the same? Well, because there's no atmosphere. There's no wind. There's no water. And this is why they put old planes in Arizona to sit in the middle of dry, arid places, because the rust takes longer to take effect. Well, the same thing's true when you completely live in a vacuum and you remove all moisture and you remove all wind and things to that effect, is a footprint will stay in the sand. They also looked at all this, not this silicate. What was it called again?
Lunar regolith.
Regolith. And they looked at it under a microscope. And regolith is actually built like this. And it's like claws. It looks like a coronavirus. And when they interlock together, so they make, just like flour and other, powders that have a propensity not to literally collapse, and you can put your foot in it. Like sand you put in and it loses its impression very quickly because it's rocks and it's very jagged and they don't necessarily stick well. But flour and regolith have this ability to kind of interlock where they can't move. And although it's not permanent, in a microscopic level, that's why they stay the way they are. I don't know. I've seen the space shuttle take off. I've seen it re-enter. I used to see the SR-71 take off. I've seen the 747 with the space shuttle on the back of it. I just grew up outside of Van Nuys. I grew up outside of Palmdale and Lancaster. Area 51, I've been from a civilian standpoint way off in the sunset out in Palmdale to in a military capacity. I don't have any reason to believe that the moon landing is fake. Amy, what about you?
I do not think it was fake either. Maybe it's because I don't know if I've seen as much as you have. My father was my grandfather was literally an aeronautical artist. So he would draw planes. Like some of them were in the Smithsonian.
Oh, wow.
So we've always had like that inbred, is that a word?
Whoa. That's
whatever.
a different type of, that's the next topic.
I don't know.
When we get to Joel Osteen, we're going to talk about that. So inbred.
No, but we grew up loving it. I mean, I got to see a space shuttle launch when I was younger. I've just always been obsessed with everything to do with anything with space and that whole world. I wanted to go to space camp. I didn't get to go. I totally think it's real. I definitely believe we've been to the moon. And I mean, we're still going up into space. We're still making all these advances. And I did date someone 100,000 years ago who was not, he was a physicist. He was an physicist, not the people who build the things that go up into space, but he worked closely with them and he actually sent things up into space. So I know for a fact we have things in space because I've seen it. I've seen them launch. I've seen all of that stuff. So yeah.
I agree I agree with everything you're saying. The only thing that would make me, there's some things that make me wonder, right? People talk about the radioactive belt that goes across in between the moon, and in order for us to go through, the amount of radiation that would be required would ultimately melt. Not required, but that would be transferred into the module, would literally melt anyone who went through it. Liv, can you look up that radioactive belt in space? And I'm sorry, I didn't research this at all. This is all from memory, and my brain is just fried. But
between the Earth and the moon?
Yeah. And it's if you're to leave the troposphere and the outer atmosphere, there's a belt. And it has a name, like the McAllen belt or something like that.
Van Allen radiation belt?
Van Allen belt. Thank you. Not the McAllen. I was close. McAllen's a Scotch, but whatever. Both will totally eat your innards if you do it. So the Van Allen belt is just a lethal dose of radiation that would permeate through anything that they had in these modules. And people have a couple of questions. They say, well, there's calculations in order to navigate through it where it is possible. Did they get lucky? And more than likely they did. But we also have to ask ourselves the question that there are ways to repel radioactive properties, and lead is one of them. And let's face it, not something that we made in abundance between that and asbestos. Is it enough? I don't know. I'm not a molecular scientist, and I don't work on the human molecular level and understand how our body reacts to certain radioactive properties. I know I've had rad meters on my person a couple of times, and that's about as close as I want to get to radiation. But here's what I would say is that if you're traveling in space, you are going to be impacted by radiation no matter where you are. And there will be a higher level of rads in space than there would be away. You're dealing with a completely different situation where our atmosphere has been cleansed and cleaned many times over throughout millennia. And when you go into space, it's a completely different thing. The closer you get to the sun, et cetera, et cetera. So was it luck? Maybe. Did some of these guys die of cancer? Yes, they did. And does that mean that it was because of the Van Allen belt? No, but here's the thing. I know I can get Mr. Wizard or Neil deGrasse Tyson and bring him on the show, and he could answer that question for you in 5 seconds. He would look at me and say, dude, you stuttering idiot. This is the answer. And I'd say, oh, okay, fuckhead, calm down. But he would answer it, and then you would just be sitting there with your hat in hand. It just comes down to this. Your belief in the moon landing isn't necessary. It's not required. Just like your belief in Christopher Columbus landing on North America isn't required. The whole point is that is the story, and you have every right to pick it apart and provide factual evidence as to why it's not true. But what you can't do is sit here and say with no equivocation that the moon landing was real, and you can't sit here and say that it was fake either, unless you have evidence to the contrary or to affirm. And that's with anything we do. I mean, you can take it on faith, but that's not evidence. That's it. So Van Allen belt, Liv,
Yes.
when you look that up, did you explain how did the astronauts make it through the Van Allen belt?
Let me look it up.
And I bet it's by accident.
No, that says the astronauts had low exposure in the Van Allen belts due to the short period of time spent flying through them. And the first mission to go through them was the Apollo mission. The Apollo missions were the first ones to go through that Van Allen belts. So,
right, but my point is, was that based on luck or was that a calculation? And
I'm assuming it's a calculation, right?
Yeah, but they don't know that the Van Allen belt was out there. That's my point. Is how would you? Because it's not seeable or visible by the human eye, telescopes or anything else. And there was no meters or readings for it. So they had to have gone through it and then collected the data on the first mission and then come back and say, okay, this is what we have to do. But my point is, it's kind of like never seeing a tempest, because it's not a land-based storm, but it certainly is out to sea. And until you experience it, you don't know what you're going to deal with until you put a ship through it and then come back and say, holy shit, we absolutely went through something that was absolutely horrible. We almost died. We need to go to be careful if we ever see these signs again, and then they can avoid a tempest. But until you go through it, how do you know?
Well, it says, maybe I'm just not looking in the right place. I'm assuming it's a calculation based on their wording, because it says, and I'm reading from Wikipedia, the Apollo missions minimized hazards for astronauts by sending spacecrafts at high speeds through the thinner areas of the upper belts, bypassing inner belts completely, except for the Apollo 14 mission, where the spacecraft traveled through the heart of the trapped radiation belts. So it sounds like a calculation, like 14 probably wasn't supposed to go through the middle, but they maybe missed their mark. Missed
the window. And yeah. Okay. So how far is the Van Allen belt from the outer troposphere? That's something that because it has to be within our. I mean, it would have to be going around the Earth in some cases, because it would be coming from the sun. So it would travel around the gravitational force of the Earth. So it would have to be on the outer atmosphere, outer troposphere. By the way, what accent is that? It's like Norwegian, like Sven, and Olaf from. That's what it was. I was trying to do like an old Viking, like, oh, look, it is a tempest. I don't know, man. Just deal with the accent. What, Amy? What does it say?
There's a 3.5 minute video that explains how astronauts fly through the belts. If you would like,
God, just give it to me. We'll play it. I just asked you where it was. That's that in relative nature.
Figure that out.
Let's. What the hell's wrong with you, Amy? Seriously, you have one job. All right, let's go ahead and send it to me. Did you just text it to me?
I'm texting it right now.
Okay. It's not going to be a 47-minute video like the Buzz Aldrin one.
It's 3.5 minutes. It's 3.5 minutes.
So basically, my love life.
Wix is your platform.
Wix, folks, don't use it. Use Shopify. It's better. Okay, here we go.
There's an invisible magnetic force field surrounding our planet, protecting us from harmful solar winds that could annihilate Earth.
We know. How far?
But this protective blanket is also a swirling ring full of deadly radiation. And to leave Earth's atmosphere, astronauts have to pass through it. The Van Allen belts are rings of energetically charged particles that have been captured by Earth's magnetic field. They got their name from this physicist, James Van Allen. Back in the 1950s, Van Allen launched a Raccoon, a rocket lifted by a balloon.
No, folks, I know it sounds made up. But just trust me, he made a raccoon, which is half raccoon, half balloon, okay? Now, why didn't he call it a ball rock? I don't know. Ball rock would have sounded much better than a raccoon. I'm sending a ball rock to space. You're like, yeah, that's cool. A baroon. Okay.
Atmosphere, and it detected the first hint of radiation at higher altitudes. Then, Explorer 1, the first American satellite to orbit Earth.
That doesn't look like a satellite. Liv?
It looks like a hygiene product that women use.
That's what I was gonna say. I was like, that looks like the French tickler. I think I've seen that in a novelty store. Okay.
Launched January 13th, 1958. Explorer 1 confirmed that Earth's magnetospace...
A bollicate. Yeah, the bollicate would be better. Rocket. Yeah, bollicate. That would have been good. I'm sending a bollicate into space. What other clever words can we come up with?
...was trapping the subatomic particles.
Melissa says, here's a question. How do you calculate for the gravitational pull of the moon or any planet if you've never been? Well, that's math. That's all it is. It's math. It's physics. I can't tell you the equation because I'm not smart enough and I don't have a brain like that, but that's just physics. You take the mass of the Earth, you take the mass of the moon, you look at how asteroids enter at a certain speed, you look at the amount of degrees that we're moving closer to the sun, and you come up with a number, and it'll tell you the gravitational pull. You're solving for X. So I can already tell you I'm not a mathematician in any way, shape, or form, but I understand that you can solve for X. There's enough variables in the equation that you can figure out the gravitational pull of the moon. Yeah. I don't need Neil Tyson Degrassi for that.
The Van Allen belts were the first major scientific discovery of the early space age, and they posed a serious challenge for space travel. High-speed subatomic particles can tear through DNA, increasing the risks of cancer and other diseases. So sending astronauts through these particles is not ideal, and even though they're flying in a shielded spacecraft, doses of radiation can still seep through.
See, that's where the shielding comes in. So having a spacecraft made of lead, it might be antithetical to, well, it's really heavy. And once you enter, those rocket boosters are going to take up payloads that are incredible. Once you enter the atmosphere, density and mass no longer matter. That's it. Because gravity isn't a concern in a place with no gravity. So the overall weight of that module. Now, that's why they left it up going around the moon. They went to a LEM because it's probably too heavy to get back off of the moon. So that's why they used that LEM, which was predominantly aluminum foil and like epoxy and resin. I mean, that thing was fairly light. And if you look at the way that it came off, I don't think they wanted to create a fuel or a rocket burn. It was actually like not spring loaded, but there was some sort of cyst of a rocket, but it was very low profile. You could see it was almost like an explosion, a controlled pop separating itself. That was pointed outward like a claymore in order to give it enough lift. And then once it got to lift, it turned on its booster to get to the module. But that's probably why that module didn't come down, is because the amount of shielding that it had in order for A, reentry, and two, to stop radiation and ion particles coming in and literally cooking them.
There's no way around the Van Allen belts. In order to reach space, astronauts have to fly through them. First, there's the inner belt, which is comprised of protons. And then the outer belt.
Why does this sound like Stranger Things?
Yeah.
If I get a copyright strike over this crap, I swear to God, Ames.
Which has mostly high-energy electrons.
Sorry.
It's a demigorgon, son of a bitch!
At one point, Van Allen suggested detonating a nuclear bomb in the inner belt to potentially clear out some of these subatomic particles.
Is he Donald Trump trying to stop a hurricane?
This plan never happened, but
Let's go ahead and launch off a nuke in order to go ahead and make it worse.
in 1962, the United States did carry out a nuclear explosion in space dubbed Starfish Prime. They wanted to see if detonating a one...
This whole thing is very phallic and anal probes and starfish and come on, dude. And rock boons, is that what they call them?
Yeah.
Come on, it all sounds just a little homosexual to me. I'm just saying.
4 megaton bomb in low Earth orbit could augment and expand the Van Allen belts. But the explosion actually ended up temporarily adding more radiation around our planet. So with little success on that front, it was up to NASA to build a spacecraft with a strong radiation barrier and figure out a
Thank you. Like I said, NASA, I'm available.
trajectory that avoided the thickest, most radioactive parts of the belt while traveling as fast as possible. Scientists determined that if the speed of the Apollo spacecraft was about 25,000 kilometers per hour, it would take about 52.8 minutes to pass through the belts.
Math.
Based on that information, they found that the radiation dose received during that amount of time would be, at most, 11.4 rads, and that's without the protection of a spacecraft. And since
This
a
is
lethal
great. I
radiation
love
dose
this
for a
stuff. We should
human
do
is
this on the
300
show all
rads
the
in 1
time. Just
hour.
learn. We're like, you know what, folks? Welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me show, where we teach you nothing, but we show you stuff that can teach you something while we all learn it together. We're just going back to 3rd grade. I mean, next is the sex ed video. Oh, Bobby, come on out with us. I can't. I've got a kid.
NASA
3rd grade.
deemed the missions a go. In the end, the average radiation dose on the skin of the Apollo astronauts came out to be 0.38 rad, which is about the same radiation you would receive getting 2 CT scans on your head. So while the Van Allen belts are lethal, they could really only kill an astronaut if they were to spend several days in their radioactive vicinity.
See?
And despite the challenges the belts create,
See, you people don't, they're like, how can you trust that? How can you trust that? Of course they're lying. Okay, you're just not going to believe anything. You're just that person who's never going to believe anything. So now that we've taught you a little something, I'm sure you have just go watch Mythbusters. Jamie and Adam already took care of this. They already crushed this, and they did Alcatraz. Easy for you to say. They did Alcatraz as well, which if you haven't watched it, it's amazing. So there you go, Matt's Magic School Bus. That's right. Everyone get in the rear just to bring the whole show together with starfishes and phallic-natured rockets. Liv?
Yes. Hey, babe.
Hey, what?
Check Spreely, please.
Why?
I think we got booted. Somebody else is on.
Thank you.
Somebody else's video came on.
Are we on Spreely 1?
Mm-hmm. We were on Spreely 1. We were good. And then a few minutes ago, it went to a different video, and now it's having issues loading, but it's not us anymore.
Is this like the Howard Stern show where I should call up my guy and, pig effer and call up Terry and be like, hey, pig effer, what are you doing canceling my show? What are you doing blocking my... No?
No.
Okay.
Tell me later.
Let's see. Watch live channel 1.
Yes.
Press and play.
Of their foreign policy.
Ooh, what's he
and a
doing
bunch
on
of
right now?
libertarians think that that's the God's honest truth. And because foreign policy is so complicated, they have outsourced their thinking on foreign policy.
Hold on. Let me check the show schedule.
Did they find our educational videos not
Yeah,
good
dude.
enough?
Seriously, there is no show schedule. What? He hijacked my show.
Yeah.
Listen, that's fine.
Hours for feeding. For example, your breakfast could be at
weekday programming. Okay, so hold on. You know what? Let me just hold on. Hey, someone else is on Spreely 1. Is this a hostile takeover? This goes against my union contract. Hey, someone else is on Spreely 1. Is this a hostile takeover? This goes against my union contract. LOL. All right, we'll see what Terry's going to tune in. He's like, what the All right. So, okay. So we've done that. Is there anything else going on?
No, that was it. I just wanted to.
How long has this been going on?
About 10 minutes, but you were in the middle of talking. I kept going like this, but you didn't see
You
me.
did.
So I'm
You
like,
did
know
nothing
what?
of the sort.
I went like this.
No. No, I'm going to watch the video. No, you didn't, because I would have seen
it
it
a couple times.
No, Liv. This is what you did. You went like this.
Well, what's the code word? I'm supposed to say popcorn or something, right?
Yeah, you know what you could do? Hey, honey. Yes, dear. Because you interrupt me. You interrupt me during sex. I mean, you interrupt me always. It's like never a problem. Why would it be a problem here? You're like, could you stop doing that? It's not as good as I thought it was. We'll just wait till tomorrow. Can we just go to bed? I hear that so much. First, they take my channel. You take my manly pride. I don't know what to do. All right. He'll get back to us, I'm sure. So now that we've covered the moon landing and everybody knows it's real, nobody believes it's fake. By the way, someone made a great point. Didn't they send chimpanzees up and murder chimpanzees? Yes, they did. Yes, they sent up bedtime for Bonzo, and they absolutely did. Okay. Amy, talk to us. I've got a video for you, first of all. And I got the Joel Osteen show. And so we could kind of watch this. We'll do the Biden thing last. So here is the first video. Did you want me to grab the other one from Fox, which is totally cool?
Whatever one. Doesn't matter.
We'll play them
whatever
both.
you like to do.
We'll play them.
There's been a lot since I've sent you that one. I think there's even more that have come out. So whatever is cool
I'm
with
sure
me.
they're gonna milk this thing. Here's the first video
Opinion, all of these.
where Joel talked on Fox. This is probably the one you saw because this is from Benny's page, and all Benny does is just take other people's stuff and throws it up on his page and calls it his, like his set. You know what? Now he's got 3 guns on his set. Listen, bro, you don't want to get into this war with me. I will literally I'll bring every effing weapon I have, and we will wallpaper this house.
You need to find a
pushing me.
mugshot of Benny, like real or fake, and then put it on your set.
You know what I need to do? I need to go. You know that you can get those rubber masks of celebrities. I need to get a rubber mask of Benny and do a segment with Benny you just do something.
That would be good. Yeah.
I should annoy him. He's not a bad guy. He just, whatever. Yeah. Here it is.
Thank Chief and the mayor and Chief Pinion, all of these men and women did an amazing job, and it's just you said it, Chief. It could have been a lot worse. Of course, we're devastated. I mean, we've been here 65 years and have somebody shooting in your church, but we don't understand why these things happen, but we know God's in control, and we're going to pray for that little 5-year-old boy and pray for the lady that was deceased, her family and all, and the other gentleman. But I don't know, it's just kind of in a fog, but, just believe that, we're going to stay strong. We're going to continue to move forward. And there are forces of evil, but the forces that are for us, the forces of God are stronger than that. So we're going to keep going strong and just, doing what God's called us to do, lift people up and give hope to the world. Again, I want to thank all these gentlemen because, I can only imagine if it would have happened during the 11 o'clock service. We were in between services going into the Spanish service. So, if there's anything good of it, you know what? She didn't get in there and do a whole lot worse damage. So we thank God for that. He's watching over all of us. And as the chief says, we're going to keep going strong and bringing hope to the world. But thank you again, gentlemen.
Thank you, Pastor.
He looks like he's had some work done.
I have so much to say.
Did you guys notice the guy in the background though? Because he was when I first saw that today,
man.
I could not take my eyes off of him. Not because he's just very peculiar the whole time with his movements and his facial expressions, and I don't know. He was just giving me the creeps. I don't know.
I didn't see it. I wasn't watching him.
Do you want to tell everyone about Mr. Olstein in our time in Texas? Amy, what do you think? First of all, it's your segment. You
guys
call
probably
us
know
when you're
way
ready.
more. Yeah, you probably know way more than I do. I mean, I know he's been involved in countless scandals, money laundering, embezzling. What else? I don't know. I think there's been other scandals as well tied to his church, maybe not to him specifically, but I know he's been involved specifically with some. Watching this, I had to watch it a couple times because again, the guy in the background was distracting, and he was in every newscast. Everyone had him in the background. I know Joe Olstein's had a lot of facial work done, but the smirk on his face when he was talking to people was making me want to jump out of my skin. You just literally lost the life of someone at your church. You had someone come in with a gun. A little boy is probably going to lose his life, and you're just smirking. And it doesn't even seem like he seems like almost he appears to be.
Wait a second. Time out.
What?
Say it again.
School's canceled tomorrow.
Why?
What? Why?
Snowstorm. They're saying a huge snowstorm.
Are you serious?
God bless America. You're kidding me.
Hayden, listen, this sounds like fake news.
No, it is. It's real.
What?
Oh,
it's Israel.
LCPS
What did Israel? What did the
schools
Jews do
tomorrow.
now?
What?
Why are the Jews keep doing things like this? What did Israel do?
It's Valentine's Day at school tomorrow. What the heck?
No, it's not Israel. This has nothing to do with Jews. Would you guys stop being anti-Semitic?
You may have play practice tomorrow afternoon. They're gonna let us know by noon.
Oh my gosh.
I gotta check out the weather.
My daughter is being a drama queen.
Why is she? School's canceled. Why is she?
Yes, it's closed. Important message.
ask-
Due to the
can I ask
potential for
I know
unsafe
why.
roads.
Can I ask why we're blaming Jews? I still don't understand.
I know why.
What?
Because whatever schedule the cute little boy she's got a crush on is in all her classes tomorrow. She's not gonna be able to
Good.
see
You tell
him.
him. You know what? You tell him that I'm gonna Hamas his ass.
Hold on. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. I got to run out and.
Well, it's fine. This show's already in the toilet anyway. It's fine. Spreely won't even cover us anymore. So you know.
Ethan's just like yes.
Ethan's like, yeah.
Yeah. Can you Google it and make sure? I'm sure I'll get email from the school soon, but just letting you know because they don't have to go to bed. It's closed.
All right. So hold on, everybody. We're trying to. What?
Sorry, we're all freaking out.
Hey, it doesn't matter. We're making fun of Jews. We're talking about homosexual dildo-sized rockets. I mean, we're doing it great. All right. So this has nothing to do with.
We're
Israel.
relatable.
Yeah. Luckily, Terry's like, just start the show and it'll automatically take over channel 1. I'm like, no, it didn't. And then he's like, well, I'm glad it's not on. So, Liv.
Yes.
Is there a giant snowstorm coming, or is our daughter doing what she always does?
No, there was supposed to be a snowstorm. It was supposed to go over us, but we're under winter weather advisory.
Yeah, but it's been raining all day. It's not going to stick.
1 to 3 inches locally.
So annoying.
I don't know.
Does that mean your school's going to be closed so you can get 1 or 3 inches, Liv?
Yes, we're going to be closed because we follow the loud and clear.
I just texted my boss.
Did you even hear what I said?
Yes, I did.
Come on, you're supposed to blush at least.
You can't make me blush.
It's true.
We've been together way too long to make me blush.
Okay. All right. So now that we know Joel Osteen, let's figure the rest of this out. Should I cancel work tomorrow? Sure. You have my permission. Tell him Match sent you. Okay. So Joel Osteen, you said a lot. Liv.
Yes.
Do you want to share the Houston story?
I don't remember it.
Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me?
The only church I remember hearing
I have
about
you
was
on this show. Why do I have you on this show? Is it just to be hot? Because it's mission accomplished. Okay.
Yeah.
Mission
the
accomplished.
only church I remember hearing about when we were in Houston was not Woodgrove. It's the Woodlands, the Church of the Woodlands.
Hey,
the one up
who
there.
was the guy who used to be on here all the time? Who we banned like 17 times, and his name was
Yes. Oh.
He was the guy that got me the smelly stuff. What's it called?
Sensi. I don't remember his name.
His friend.
That's right with a J, right? Was it Jerry or
somebody? Hey, Amy, tell me who the hell this guy? Stamcombe. Who was it? Who was? What was his name? I banned him like 75 times. He was his friend from Sensi.
I don't remember.
Come on. Well, she's typing.
Yeah.
She's typing. It takes
Yeah.
like 12, hold on a second. It takes like 12 seconds. Hold on. I want to get this point out.
Chav?
Chav. Chaz.
Oh,
Chav.
that's right.
Yeah. So you guys, just let you know, this guy right here, you called me, this is Chav.
Oh.
I'm just telling you right now, that's Chav. Because that's the type of humor he has. There is a giant rocket launched towards Uranus. It's just totally Chav. And he's so bad at jokes that you just, there's nobody else on the planet who could be like him. It's got to be Chavo. It's Chavasto. I promise you. It's Chav. He's back.
I don't remember anything about Joel Osteen.
Okay, so I'll tell you.
Yeah.
So Olivia told me the story this morning. She wanted me to tell it to you again. So no, I know Chav never gave me anything, but his good friend did, and I was trying to make the connection between Chav and the other guy, who I don't even remember his name. All I know is he still writes about me all the time. I bought this guy, like literally 2 months ago, he wrote this Jefferson. He wrote this big long thing.
Yep.
And I'm like, who is this guy? And then Amy had to remind me. I'm like, oh, Jefferson? He's still bitching about that? You know what's funny is I did offer and told him, I said, all you got to do is send me a receipt for your shipping and how much it costs, and I'll cut you a check. He never, he just, why would he do that? He wants something to complain about for the rest of his life. Anyway, Joel Osteen, Hurricane Harvey. Now watch this. I remember. And she's going to interrupt me. Really?
I'm trying to think.
Okay, so there's a couple people. First of all, there's a guy named
Okay, I think I remember. Yes.
Son of a bitch.
I do remember. Yeah. It took me a while.
I'm already telling the story.
Go for it. You tell stories better than me anyway.
No, you tell the story, Liv. Why don't you go ahead and tell everybody? No. You tell everybody.
No.
You do it. No, you do it. Promise you do it. Go.
It's going to be like 5 seconds and that's it. I don't
I
tell
know.
very
That's
well.
why I told you you're so hot. Are you going to tell the story or not?
No, you're going to tell the story.
Okay. Why don't you tell your 5-second story and then I'll go ahead and turn it into 5 minutes. Go.
He wouldn't let anyone. He closed up his church and wouldn't let anyone come in his church.
Thanks, honey. That was
Yeah, I
really,
told you.
that was so good. It was so good.
short.
Hey kids, come get the cat. All right. So this is what happened. There's a guy in Houston. His name is Mattress Mac, and Mattress Mac is the coolest. He is a multi-millionaire buku, and he has like a Home Depot size gallery, and there's multiple in Texas. And he essentially is the furniture guy. He's like Jake Jabs from Colorado. He is the furniture. You need furniture, you come to me. You come on Mattress Mac, I'll take care of you. He doesn't sound anything like that. He's actually an old guy, and he's kind of like, I'm Mattress Mac, and I want you to come and buy my furniture from me. He's got like a little Ross Perot. And he's old, and he is awesome. I've talked to him on the phone 2 times for Flags of Valor, and he treated me like a king. Called me and just was like, listen to me for an hour. And we just had a great conversation. Good human being. He's also a degenerate gambler. And when I say this is a guy that put $2.1 million on the Houston Astros to win the World Series. But he wins. And what he does is he tells everybody, hey, if you buy anything from January till April or whatever it is, before the season starts, if you buy anything from this day to this day, our cats are, hey, kids, come here.
She's climbing all.
Get the cat out of here before I skin her and wear her as a blanket now, please. All right, so he says from January to like April 1st, whatever, or end of October after the playoffs end, you can come in and buy anything. You got to spend like $2,500. Anything you buy, no, it's not even a limit. Anything you buy between now and then, if the Astros win the World Series, it's free. And then he goes and bets $2.1 million. Well, he won like what, $72 million on the World Series because the Astros won. So this guy hedges his bets, and people come in and they spend a shit ton of money with him. And then all those people who bought millions of dollars worth of furniture, he gives it away for free. But he also is going to win because he's going to win a crap ton of money because so it's smart. Sure, I'm going to give away $4 million in sales, but I'm going to make $72 million in illegal legal gambling. So it's a win-win. And then if I lose the 2.1 million, well, it really doesn't matter because everyone came and bought a bunch of furniture and I get to keep the money. It's genius. Mattress Mac, during Hurricane Harvey, opened up all of his showrooms, millions of dollars of inventory, beds, couches, lazy boy recliners, Persian rugs, pillows, and he allowed all of them covered in mud, swamp water, sweating, carrying people who had blood and shit and piss and just completely anything that they touch, they're going to ruin. And he allowed all of them to sleep in his beds, on the couches, in the recliners, ruining millions of dollars in furniture. And Mattress Mac opened his door to first responders and people who were in need. Joel Osteen locked his church. So when I say this, I want to say this with all the love in my heart. Joel Osteen can grab one of those anal probe rockets and right up his starfish, because that guy is one of the most horrific charlatan douche plows on the planet. Can't stand him. I think he's a false prophet. He is everything that's wrong with organized religion. And he steals people's hopes and dreams and prayers and use them to profit. And every one of those sons and bitches are going to burn forever in hell. If there's a hell, most assuredly, guys like that will be in it. So maybe a little severe, but that's what I think of Joel Osteen. Amy, any thoughts on Joel?
I mean, nothing. I mean, that just, yes, I remember that. Yes, he's not a good person. I think that's been well known for years. And I mean, I don't personally like him. I think he is all about the money, just like a lot of these TV evangelists. Isn't there a name for that? Televangelist.
Yes.
I think he's all about the money, and I don't think he is. Again, I've never listened to one of his church services. I've never watched one, but maybe I will stream one just to see what I'm missing out on. What's really concerning is that he has such a huge following, but a lot of these people do because they're charismatic and they tell you what you want to hear, and it's all fake. It's all fake. Yeah.
It's all fake. And
especially, sorry, like my...
Don't be sorry.
Sorry, my kids bother me now. Now they can stay up late because there's no school.
Hey, go away, you little turd. I got it for you.
No, I just think about like the priests.
Uncle Matt yelled at me.
They can't hear me, thankfully. I can hear them. They can't hear me. I just think about, the church where I go to, the priests there, they share a house. I think they share a house. At least it's very I've been in there because they welcome you in. They're so welcoming. It's very modest. They don't have anything fancy. They do have a golf cart. They drive around their property because it's so large. Because we live out in the country, it's a huge church property. But it's very modest. They don't take any money from us. I'm sure they make enough to have a decent, comfortable life. But they're about serving the people, not flying on private jets, not having the mega mansions and all of these things. It should be money given back to people who need it. And if you are a true biblical person and someone who studies the Bible, God does not want you to take from other people. He wants you to give to other people.
To the parishioners. That's your job, right? That's what you should do versus take. I can't stand people that use their platform to make money off of people who believe in them and listen to them and follow them. I think those people are the scum of the earth. By the way, here is the commercial for the Donut and Friendly Show. Hey, what's going on, Donut and Friendly Nation? Matthew Spear from the Donut and Friendly podcast. It's interesting. I've had these books for, 3 years now, and I've got 3 independent books of the Declaration, the Bill of Rights, and the Constitution of the United States that I inherited from my mother, leather bound, beautiful, and they're older books, 1935, 1937, something to that effect. I'll show them on the show, but people see me reference these nightly on the show. And the interesting thing is I've never really put 2 and 2 together. We have a website, and someone asked last night, hey, how the heck do I get those books? Where do I get those books? And it dawned on me that I should provide these. So they are now on sale. They're beautiful books. They're leatherette books. They're hardback, which is nice. They don't have a dust cover or anything. I've used these, like I said, ad nauseum, and they hold up and they stand the test of time. They've got pictures of the framers, founders, inside the books. They make references with different colors to kind of explain things in a little bit of a simpler way or give some context. But these books, word for word, are the Bill of Rights, the Constitution, and the Declaration of Independence. They are absolutely stunning. You get each book individually for $15.99 over at thedumshow.com. We also have a bundle over there where you can save $5 on all 3 for $44.99. And last but not least, the pictures you've just been looking at and the video is the Documents of Freedom, custom made by PFC Flags, comes in an amazing, beautiful, decorative box for $64.99. Stop by thedumshow.com and take a look. They're available right now. And if you're in Hurricane Harvey, I will definitely allow you to sleep on my porch. It's the least I can do. $64.99, folks. At least you get something for your money, and 10% goes back to veterans. That's probably more than Joel Osteen. What are you doing on the phone? What is going on?
I was checking the weather, and
is it going to snow?
It's supposed to snow.
Supposed to snow. All right, we got a call in. All right, caller, where are you from? Where are you from?
Hey, Matt. You know who this is? It's Elizabeth.
Yeah, I do. It's Elizabeth. Elizabeth, what do you want to talk about? You had a call out tonight about veterans. Go ahead and give it to me before we get to our next topic, because then we got to go. What's up?
Okay. The thing that I want to tell you first about the veterans is that True Value is cheated the veteran shelter over in Wilburton because of the fact that they were trying. My dad owns the resting place. And they ended up getting the wrong phone insulation sent to them. And my dad went up there to try to get it exchanged, and they refused to exchange the insulation. And this veterans shelter actually is for homeless, and they're housing the homeless veterans. First of all, we should never have homeless veterans. Second of all, we need to consider the fact that whenever somebody's trying to take care of our veterans, the businesses at least need to give them at least the fair money's worth.
Okay. So this is True Value Hardware?
Yes, it is.
Is it a privately owned since they do franchise?
What it is that they, each individual, each True Value is actually owned by the private people.
It's franchised. Okay, so it's franchised. So they're not necessarily beholden to the corporate rules. There are certain things they do have to follow. When this was this siding or was this insulation? What was it? Roofing material? What was it?
It was insulation to keep the heat in the buildings.
Okay.
My dad has actually had to bring some buildings in, like the storage buildings. And he's trying to fix it up so that they have plumbing, insulation, and everything for these individuals.
Was it bought on clearance? Was it half used? Was it out of return policy?
Brand new.
Okay, but there has to be a reason, because weights and measures, whether you're privately owned or not, you have a responsibility to follow consumer protection laws. And in retail, no matter where you're
They're saying that it's specialized.
What?
They're saying it was a specialized insulation.
So they special ordered it. That's a completely different conversation. Special orders are not are not to be treated with the same return parameters as most consumer goods. Special orders are a rare occurrence, and when you look at the special order itself, those are usually done with some sort of outside of a receipt, but there is a paper transfer that takes place as a contract, and will say there are no returns on this item based upon being a special, unique order that we cannot return to the vendor, and that's why. But the question is, how much was this totaling?
over $700.
Okay. Why did you have to return it?
Because they did not give him the right size. He ordered the right size, but they did not fulfill the right size.
So is the size that he ordered on his receipt different than what he got?
Yes.
Okay, then you absolutely can get your money back. So if the receipt says one thing and then if it says another, so here's what I'd like to do. I want you to send me a copy of the receipt and I will make a phone call to this True Value. And if this is true, I'll have your money back. If it's not, I'll find out what the real reason is and I'll explain it and let you know why they're right or you're right. Fair enough?
Okay. And also go ahead and let my dad know, because that way he's actually going to be dealing with you instead of me trying to transfer it on over.
Yeah. I'll just be
If
like,
that makes any sense.
I'll be like, hi, this is Matt Shepard from Legal Law Office from Consumer Goods. We have a question for you. I'm sorry, can you hear me? We're over here over on the pond, and we're very far away. But right now, we're ready to go ahead and come on over there with swords and shallots and spear you and gouge you like a bitches you are. We'll call them, and we'll find out what they have to say. And I promise you this: they'll do this. I'll probably call them live. That would be even better. So I'll just call them live, and I'll say, "Hi, you're on the Don't Unfriend Me show," and talking to a veteran and. Like to go ahead and have a conversation. First of all, how much is this? And we'll find out what's going on. And then if worse comes to worse, we'll raise more money for this veteran establishment, and we'll raise more than $700, and we'll go ahead and take care of it ourselves. Deal?
That sounds great, because a lot of the stuff has been actually given out of my dad's pocket.
Yeah.
And my dad has been funding this shelter place.
We got it. We'll take care of it.
He actually founded it and everything.
Here's what you need to do. Like I said, send me an email and send me the copy of the receipt, and then give me the details of the store. And then I'm going to make a phone call and we'll see what we can do. And if that doesn't work, we'll get a GoFundMe. And trust me, my town between Percival and Round Hill will raise 5 times that if we put this out there. Right, Amy? We can do this.
Yeah. I'm in.
Amy will just cut a check. She's rich. She's uber rich. So
I'm not.
She's like, I'm not. All right, kiddo. We'll talk to you later.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Talk to you later. See ya. All right. So that's why I call the Don't Unfriend Me show, because we're going to make him an offer we can't refuse. Now let's get to the last segment. Now that I've pawned you for money. Joe Biden. Joe Biden. You know what's cool with all that money you're going to save on that installation? Go ahead and buy books. Okay? 25%. I got to show you this. You ladies,
Shrunk inside.
you guys, whoa,
Not
dude,
impressive.
easy, Joe.
I've had enough of
Easy.
what
I know you look
call
like a
shrink.
doppelganger. All right. This commercial, dude, he is so desperate. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw the recent poll. 81% of voters.
86.
81.
Oh, I thought it was 86.
It's okay. That's 86%, folks. Olivia has to make a contribution. Heartburn, honey?
Yes.
Okay. Slam them on the table a little harder so everyone can hear. So 81% of voters say that Joe Biden is too damn old. And people are still saying they're going to change. They're not going to swap him out.
No.
Joe Biden is going. It's too soon. It's too
I
late.
I heard a theory, a conspiracy theory and I was like, that makes sense. So I thought maybe this could be true.
Just go. All right, go here. Let me change the camera. Hold on. Let me hear your conspiracy.
It's not that
theory.
long. It's just quick. But I heard that I forget which news source it was, but they were saying maybe they will wait until it's too late because people don't want to vote for Trump, but they feel like they kind of have to. So they're going to wait until they can't find out anything about a new candidate and then swap them out for somebody else that they don't know and know nothing about. And they're just going to vote for them by default. I was like, oh, I could see that. I don't know what
Hold
the
on.
deadline
We have a contentious, what percentage of people say Biden is too old?
A lot.
New poll. Let's find out.
I think you're right. It was like 80-some%. And that same poll, they asked if Trump was too old, and about half of the people said that yes, he's too old as well.
42%, something
Yeah.
abnormally low. So because people are defending it, they're like, it's 86, it's 86, it's 86. We're gonna find out right now.
It's a lot. It's a lot of people.
Damn it, Olivia wins. See, I can admit I'm wrong. It's happened once. There it is. You guys were wondering when I was wrong. There it is. 86. 86. It's kind of like 68, and I owe you one, huh, Liv? So
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking.
I got a feeling. So that's even worse. 14%. That means 14% of the voter base actually believe he's not too old. This isn't good. It's not. They're not going to change him out. You don't understand. You can't run a presidential election in 9 months. They're going to at least have to wait till Super Tuesday. They're going to have to wait till the primaries. They got to wait for the primary. And then he's got to say, it doesn't make any sense. It's the single biggest home court advantage in the world. The incumbency. Only 4 presidents running for their second term haven't made it to the next term. Donald Trump's one of them.
Yeah, I can name 3. It was Bush Sr., Carter, Donald Trump.
And then one other.
And I don't know who the other one is.
Probably Ford, I would assume. Ford after Nixon. I don't think Ford got a second term. So it doesn't happen. It's a rarity. And I think maybe it is more than 4 times. But you still don't throw away an incumbency because Donald Trump is a very unpopular candidate, and so's Joe Biden. But who are you going to replace him with? Let's have that conversation. Who are you going to replace him with?
Gavin Newsom.
Gavin's not going to take it right now. He can't.
Yeah, I don't think he's ready.
They need Gavin. They know who they need Gavin for. They need Gavin for either Nikki Haley, DeSantis, or Youngkin in 2028. They got to save him. You can't throw him out there as a consolation prize.
10 presidents.
10, okay. But modern day is what I'm talking about. I'm talking the last 100 years.
No less than
I think Hillary would like to be in
and you have to
consideration
subtract
again.
3 from there because that was funny. Go ahead and say it again so people can hear it. Go ahead.
I was just saying, I think Hillary would like the chance to run again. So I think she's hoping that she's
killing. She's killing to run again. So here's the thing: modern day presidents, and you have to go ahead and you have to look at FDR, who stayed 2 years past his term. So
starting in like the 1900s.
Yeah, 1900s.
Okay, William Taft.
Yep.
Hoover.
Yep.
Gerald Ford.
Yep.
Jimmy Carter.
Yep.
George H.W. Bush and Donald Trump.
And you can't, yeah. So 5, 6 in the last 100 years. That's not that many. So incumbency is, and there's a reason why Gerald Ford, because he wasn't elected president. And so he had to take over because of Nixon. So a little bit different. So you go ahead and scratch him. Carter had the worst presidency ever, and there was no way he was going to get reelected. You look at Bush Sr., people were just sick of Republicans. I mean, they had 12 years of them. They weren't going to give. And Bill Clinton comes in, and he's just like, I want to go ahead and tootie on your microphone. That's right. I just want to blow on your sexy sax. Why don't you come on over here, Monica, and touch my cookie? That's right, baby. Touch my chocolate chip cookie. Oh, mama. So, it's Slick Willie. So Slick Willie comes in, and he takes it. But you don't lose an incumbency. Donald Trump, the fact that Donald Trump lost should explain something to you, is that makes it even more fishy, right? That's why people are like, wait a second, this guy got more votes than he did the first time. He's got the most votes out of any president ever, except for Joe Biden. Joe Biden got more votes than Obama? Give me a break.
Yeah.
I already told you what it was. You didn't listen to me. But guess what? The whole Republican Party is now saying what I've been saying for 3 years. Want to know why? Because it's the fucking truth. It's all part of the plan.
Yeah.
All right, so who's going to take over for Joe Biden? Seriously, you can't do it. You got to let him run. And then what you do is you 25th Amendment his ass out literally in the first quarter. You have him come in and do broad sweeping legislation that nobody would touch, like ban guns. Do something completely off the effing rails. The thing that you just dropped the nuclear football. Then somebody come in and go, well, grandpa kind of messed some things up. And I'm a liberal and even I'm saying that. We're going to go ahead and fix that. Then you never fix it, right? So you do something crazy. He goes ahead and bows out. He passes and writes executive orders on everything. Then the new president who comes in doesn't do anything about it. It makes sense. And you replace him. Okay, fine. You're not going to change him out right now. You're 9 months away. You're 9 months away. And what you're saying is that his policies don't work because nobody's going to think about the age thing. Nobody's going to think is that he's old. They're going to say it's the reason why everything's bad. It's because what the Republicans said. This is a kiss of death for the Democrats. It's never been done before. You want someone to resign without a major scandal being the reason? It's literally, I can't do it. I'm too old. Ronald Reagan had Alzheimer's, for God's sakes, and he ran. Kennedy had a back that his butthole was in the back of his throat. He couldn't even stand up. Do you know that John F. Kennedy had to wear a piece of wood?
No, I didn't. I didn't realize why was his back so bad?
From the boating accident, the PT boat accident in Vietnam.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know about that's a whole other story. That's a whole other conversation. But Kennedy was on more freaking morphine and painkillers would kill a small horse. He had to wear a wooden splint on his back, a turtle shell on his back. If he got on the ground, he couldn't get up. Secret Service when the kids wanted to play, he wouldn't listen, and Jackie would tell him not to, and he would get on the ground. The Secret Service would have to come and pick him up. Kennedy had a chronic back issue, but he also had a very large phobia, which was death. And John F. Kennedy had a almost fascination with dying and was very, very afraid to go under the needle, was very afraid to go under the knife. So dealt with the back pain and didn't deal with the surgery and wanted to push it till after the election so he didn't demonstrate weakness to guys like Khrushchev and others who were pitting against him. Kennedy he was freaking drugged out of his mind for most of his presidency. So whatever, you got it wasn't a back brace. It was a back piece of wood. So he could stand up because he had such a horrible spinal stenosis and scoliosis and displaced discs, bulging discs, that he couldn't support his own frame. So they used the board, especially when he was in the car, in order to go ahead and do it and stay up, because sitting is one of the worst things for your back. And if you also look at when Kennedy was shot, he was wearing it when he was shot. That's why his arms went up like this, because he couldn't bring his arms up like this because of the boards where he was sitting. John F. Kennedy was probably should have been in a wheelchair based upon his back. And he would have moments where he couldn't walk and he couldn't move for days at a time. Days at a time. Yeah, it's bad. So, and especially when you're swallowing whiskey with hydrocodone and every other opiate known to man in order to function. But the point being is that if they're going to go ahead and prop Kennedy up, and they've propped up Biden for 4 years, and they propped up Reagan, what makes us think that they wouldn't do the same thing again for another 4 for Biden? Yeah. They don't care. He doesn't do anything. He just goes out there. So here it is, ladies. This is important so we can get out of here on time tonight because we're doing perfect. We're going to end this quickly. Since you guys do all the shopping because you're women, the thing I was wondering was...
It's true. See? In my house, anyway, it's true.
It's not even a joke.
True here.
It's just true. It's just true. He's a smoothie. Yeah. So, first of all, Joe Biden, I remember times when I was younger that I would see my grandpa get out of the pool, and it was never a good thing. Joe Biden looks like a wet, hairy toe. A wet, hairy toe. In this thing, do you guys remember in the movie Beastmaster? and they had the people who were like the bulbulous masses who put out their arms, and then they would wrap up people and then open them up, and they would be bones. And they were the bird people. You remember those people? And they
No. Never saw it.
Did you ever see Alien, where Bishop gets torn in half and all of his embiotic fluid just throws all over his body and his android-based lubricant? No?
I can picture it in my mind though, with that description. I'm good.
Have you ever seen Moby Dick after the whale literally was dead for like 2 weeks? Okay, well, here it is right here. You're going to see all those things in once with Joe Biden. Here it is. Oh, boy. Here it is. Now, Biden wants you to know that he's on the case. He's on the case because not only did he go after Ticketmaster prices and go after baggage fees at the airlines, now the trifecta is here, Bidenomics. He's going to make sure that your potato chips are full because these companies that are reducing the amount of chips and the amount of crackers and the amount of cereal in their boxes and filling up with the air, well, they're a bunch of lying dog-faced pony soldiers, and Sheriff Biden is going to take them out in the back like he did with Corn Pop and let these businesses know, ladies, he's here working for you. Does this turn you on, baby? Does this make you Randy? Yeah, Randy. Let's watch it.
The Super Bowl Sunday. If you're anything like me, you like to
if you can understand him.
buy a snack or two while watching the big game. You know, when buying snacks for the game, you might have noticed one thing. Sports drinks bottles are smaller. A bag of chips has fewer chips, but they're still charging you just as much. And as an ice cream lover, what makes me the most angry is that ice cream cartons have actually shrunk in size, but not in price. I've had enough of what they call shrinkflation.
So's Jill. Jill's upset because shrinkflation. She doesn't call me daddy anymore. She calls me Junior.
It's a ripoff. Some companies are trying to pull a fast one by shrinking the products little by little and hoping you won't notice. Give me a break. The American public is tired of being played for suckers. I'm calling on companies to put a stop to this. Let's make sure businesses do the right thing now.
He needs to run on that in his campaign.
The Super Bowl Sunday.
Shrinkflation, folks.
Freaking drums in the background. My God.
Yeah.
Dude.
It's like he's going to a college football game or something.
Oh, yeah. Well, Donald Trump had a bunch of high school cheerleaders on it in Mar-a-Lago today, or the other day for Super Bowl, and people were like, he's a pedophile. Look at he can't win. What? How does this change things? How are you going to regulate? This is anti-capitalism at its finest. I hate to say it, but if you're an idiot and you still go buy Ruffles and you buy the bag you can't see through, it's your own damn fault. Why do you think Tostitos has clear bags and they're all the way to the top? The reason why is because you can see them and their consumers won't buy them, but they're also the cheapest. I understand, man. I used to love Nestle Crunch, like the little crunch bunch of crunches. Mm-hmm. And I would order those and be full, and I'd open it up and just chocolate would fly all over the place. There was so much. Now I'm just like, what the shiznit? Ladies, is this important? Does this address Bidenomics? Maybe it's because of Bidenomics that these companies can't afford to fill up the boxes. Amy, you go first.
Right. Well, I just want to say that until I saw this commercial, I just had no idea this was happening, and I was so confused about my grocery bill going up and having to buy more food all the time. Yes, shrinkflation is real. It's been real for a long time. I think it's curious that he posted this on Super Bowl Sunday with the most consumer product ads in one freaking show than any other event ever. So I think it's a big FU to them, and I think that's hilarious. Two, the problem is not just the shrinkflation. I feel like the companies, and I'm speaking on totally no basis for this, it's just what I would speculate, is that the companies are trying to do their best to help appease the consumers because they have to raise their prices, because they have to pay the minimum wage that's higher. They can't afford to make the products at the prices they need to to pass on to the consumers at a reasonable price. So I think they're kind of trying to meet in the middle by raising the prices and shrinking it down. So I don't know. We eat too much as Americans anyway. I don't know. It's all crazy. I'm tired of spending $200 a week at the grocery store and getting 4 bags of groceries. And
we would love to spend $200 a week.
Oh, I'm like, that's our budget. So if we don't get it this week.
Liv's been doing great. She's like been coming sub 200 now, but there was a point where she was like 300 a week, and now we've brought it down to like 175. She's brought it down. She's done all the work. Livia, what are your thoughts on shrinkflation? What do you think about this stuff?
Well, Hayden bitches about it constantly. Anytime I buy her any type of chip or cracker, she constantly complains about it. I'm like, because I buy him a box. I'm like, this has to last you the full week.
Yes.
And by Wednesday, it's gone. And I'm like, why is it gone?
She's like, shrinkflation, mommy.
Well, it's
Said
because
damn Joe Biden.
It's only half full. I'm like, no, it's because you sat in front of the TV last night and half the box on Sunday night after I went grocery shopping.
Was this after you ate 3/4 of the box of vanilla wafers last night?
So I don't have to last them a whole week because I have other snacks.
Okay. I just want to make sure that the double standard is in full effect. Yeah, but do you think this is? See, here's the thing: is that this is a hot button issue, I guess, and that's great. But guess what? What are you going to do about it?
Well, we don't even buy a lot of that stuff anyway. We don't buy the chips and soda and Gatorade and stuff anyway. It's the things I've noticed that have gone up are meat, eggs, beef has gone up incredible.
And is a pound of beef smaller than it used to be? Because I was like, this is the tiniest 1 pound package of ground beef I've
Don't
ever
ask
bought.
her to measure. That's
chicken's
I got her.
up.
I got her believing that 12 inches is this. So don't.
And
don't you
that's why
don't
women
wake
can't
my
work.
wife. You better not woke her. Stop woking my wife. As soon as she finds out that this isn't 12 inches, there's a divorce going to happen. Seriously. Listen, you can't stop capitalism from happening. There's a difference between price gouging and people trying to make a buck. Listen, I sell shirts for a living. It's part of my job is sell shirts and hats and coffee. And I understand how difficult it is to make $1. Like, sure. Like when we did the Jason Aldean thing, we sold $10,000 worth of shirts. But you're like, oh my God, you sold 10,000. No, because the margin on that is like 17%. So I made $1,700 in shirts, but Printaful and UPS and the discount and Travis Manion Foundation, they made more than I did. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I make those choices to do business that way. But if you think spending $4 on a bag of Ruffles that those people are making, it costs 29 cents, that is not true. Shipping, fuel, production costs, labor, FDA violations, waste. Do you understand that these bags of chips don't last forever, and how much these supermarkets might have a bag of Funyuns that have been there since like 1962? So there's also theft. There's a lot of things that happen, and money. You're not going to get rich buying something for $1 and selling it for $2.
There's a reason I tell the kids I buy generic. All this stuff I'm like, we're buying generic, and they complain. It doesn't taste. I don't care. Then don't eat it, and I won't buy it again. But I'm not spending $6 on a box of Ritz crackers when I can spend $2.50 for the generic brand. I'm sorry, and it's just the way it is. If you want them, you'll eat them.
It's just it's just to the point where, it's hard to make money, and you used to be able to sell something for $1 and make $2 and have a good living. Those days are gone. And the margins are, you got to be making 75 points of margin in your product to make a living, because there's so many third parties now. Everything's expensive. Shipping to send a half a pound box, cost me $7.85 anywhere in the United States. A half a pound. There was a time where there's a time when I could put that in an envelope, and for $1.29, I could send that shit to Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Alaska. Not anymore. Times are changing. Times are hard. So no, you can't do it anymore. And so you sell a $29 shirt. All right, costs $17 to make. We got $13. Costs $4 to ship it across the country, and 10% to go. You make $3 on a shirt. So you're not going to get rich doing that stuff. So for Joe Biden to say that people buy everything that he had there was probably the most unhealthy shit ever. And for an administration that is supposedly all about gluten-free and vegetarian, there's a hell of a lot of milk and eggs and shit in that stuff. And it was all preservatives and it was all saturated fat. And here's the message you're sending: 64 grams of sugar in a Gatorade.
Jeez. Oh,
so
we don't drink them anyway, but like,
your
this is my splurge now. My waters. I don't care.
Gatorade is like 86% of your daily value of like, really, you shouldn't have anything more than 10 or 12 grams of sugar a day, if that. And people, including myself, man, I have sugar on my toast because I have jelly, and I got to have the carbs in the morning, but I burn that crap off. But I know I used to eat a gallon of ice cream. I used to have a bowl of cereal. I would have just soda after soda. I would drink 4 vanilla what were they called?
Lattes.
No. The real expensive, the ones that were
mochas.
Yeah,
white chocolate mocha.
White chocolate mochas. 800 effing calories.
Bag of popcorn and Pop-Tarts.
75 grams of sugar, and I'd have 3 of those a day. I was putting almost 200 grams of sugar in my body a day. Do you understand how I'm not a diabetic? I don't understand it. Thank God I took care of myself. My point is that, you know what you should be doing? He should be talking about the meat. He should be talking about chicken. He should be talking about vegetables. He should be talking about why blueberries are like $8 for a little tiny plastic.
A pint.
A pint for blueberries. I mean, it's like crack. People come over to my house, man, like, you got any blueberries, Holmes? I'm like, shit, Vato, I got some blueberries for you guys. Come here. You got the cash? I got some freaking blueberries. Whatever. Folks, Don't Inform Me Show. Good topic tonight. It was fun to have you on. Amy, your 1 minute. Go for it.
Well, it's good to see everybody. I was going to bring it up before and I totally forgot. I watched your show with Alan. Donovan.
Yep.
I was like, I'm going to forget his name. I'm looking forward to the next show. I really wish I really enjoyed part 1. I'm looking forward to part 2. So I can't wait to do that. My heart goes out to him.
It was fantastic. Wait till it ends on a beautiful, beautiful message. I get to talk a little bit about my son, Jacob, and he's just an amazing guy. I had a great time. He's going to be on the show more. We've talked. We even said there's not enough time. We got to do this again. So I would love to go on his show, and I have a feeling that he's gonna come back. And it was a great conversation. So part 2 will release tomorrow. If you have not had a chance to watch it, you can go to the Don't Inform Me Show. It's there right now. Go watch it right after this show, and give yourself a little bit of after show if you would not mind. Olivia, you get your 1 minute.
Thank you for joining us. Head over to Spreely, our newest channel.
Is it on?
No.
Terry's.
But anyway, go follow us over there anyway.
Terry said, I think the problem is with Boxcast, it is not forwarding the stream. It's not the first time this has happened. I think going forward, we go direct to TV startup. Terry's breaking out the big guns. He's so funny. Terry's a good guy. Folks, here's the thing. The show is not going to change, but I am being sent a lot of stuff to try, made by veterans and patriots across the country. And Spreely is sending me things like 1791 coffee, freeze-dried beef jerky, pillows and blankets, phones. I mean, they're books, and to see if I want to promote these on the show. And I promise you that I will not promote anything that I don't use and anything that I don't believe in. But you're going to see some opportunities. There are several advertisers that are interested in broadcasting on the Don't Unfriend Me Show. This is how we grow. I will do my best to keep it limited. Right now, my intentions are to do two 60-minute commercials and then 15 seconds to show. We'll see you guys.
Good.
We got to go. Good night. So 60-second commercials at the top, the top half and the bottom half, and then 2 15-second sounds is what I'm going to do. But it allows an advertiser to come in here who I use, and I'll provide you guys a recommendation and tell you my thoughts and what I think. And I will not do it for the money. I will do it because I like the product and the money, which is very different.
Yeah.
Unlike Joel Olstein, who just does it for the money.
Right.
I
think that's great.
When we get like the stuff to eat, beef jerky and stuff like that, we should record the kids eating it for the first time, get their reactions.
No, because they never agree.
That's true.
So you know what they're going to do? They're gonna be, yeah. You know what we're going to do is this is how we're going to sell the commercial. Here it is. Olivia's going to hold up a bag of Tillamook, and then she's going to hold up a bag of Shepler and hold it up to you and say, "This is $21." And then she's going to hold up a bag of beef jerky and go, "This is $12." And you get 6 more ounces. It's made in the United States. It's USDA choice. And here it is. And that's the sell point. Is because the prices that they come in with are 10 times better than what you get in the grocery store because you don't have the major overhead. It's made to order. So you don't have it sit on the shelf. You don't have to worry about these extravagant shipping costs. You can sell it in bulk. So we're not going to be a multi-level marketing show. I'm going to tell you what I like. And I'm gonna offer it to you, and you don't have to take it. The show will always be free. This is how the show gets to remain free. It's time. It's time to grow. It's time to start getting nationally recognized. We're syndicated now, and it's time to. We're gonna take the training wheels off. So I hope you appreciate it. We're going to make it as minimal and painless as possible. You guys deal with a 60-second commercial. You guys get commercials on Facebook. And here's the thing. I'm going to make a deal with you. If I recognize that these advertisers work, I will remove the commercials from Facebook and Rumble and other places because that money really is negligible. That's making Facebook money. And I would rather do selling product I believe in than having them sell you Provasic to get a boner that can reach from here to the Allen's belt. Okay, good.
The Van Allen belt.
Yeah.
Well, I meant Allen's belt because I couldn't remember Van.
Halen.
Thanks for calling me out. Van Halen's belt, folks. To reach Van Halen's belt, which is permanently on the floor after what I heard about Eddie Van Halen and how many people he slept with. Holy God. How did he ever have any time to wear a belt is beyond me. Thanks for watching the Don't Unfriend Me show. Amy, we'll see you when. When are you going to come on next?
I'll be here Wednesday. Yeah. So still go with Monday and Wednesdays. I can probably do some Fridays too.
Bless you.
Bless you. Just Fridays, it's one of our busiest days in my real job, my day job. I shouldn't say real job, my day job. So
Tuner says it. She's rich. She doesn't need a job. Tuner says, but if I send you something, I get to own you, right? Oh, yeah. Just send me some Scentsy. So, folks, remember, if you order something from the Don't Unfriend Me show, that's not a t-shirt, but like the books or something, or a hat, you get Don't Unfriend Me buttons. I know.
And there's only one button each with each of our faces on it. So who's the lucky person that's going to get those?
We all know you want my button. And I can't find the button, so I'll give you Olivia's.
Yeah, there's like 3 of them with all 5 of our faces, and then there's one each with.
I know.
Gosh,
I think
maybe
Kevin,
we should auction those off.
Kevin
right
got
there.
the one with all 5 of us on. I gave one to Kevin.
Maybe we should auction off the single ones. See who wants them.
All right, everybody. Good night. Thanks for watching the Don't Unfriend Me show. We love you, Amy. We'll see you on Wednesday. Good night. Go watch the other show. Like, share, subscribe.
Night, y'all.
Have a good one. God bless. See ya. Bye.
Adjusting transmitter output.
Bye.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, Olivia, and Mike. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on the Spreely.tv network and all major social media channels at The DUM Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.